Wow, we had a monster crowd yesterday, but way bigger here today, and so it should be for the very first championship Sunday of the 2017 season. Knoxville, Tennessee, are you guys ready? Finally, the Bassmaster Elite Series has come to... I knew you guys could nail it. We are excited. We started this tournament with 110 anglers, cut it down to 51, and now just 12 remain here today. One of them going to get crowned as our first Elite Series champion of the year, and an incredible top 12 we had. You look at it generally, you make the Elite Series. That's pretty cool. That's an incredible accomplishment. And at your first Elite Series event, if you can top 50 it, you're styling and profiling. But our rookies this year don't feel that way. They set their standards a whole lot higher. This morning, 2 rookies fishing their first Elite Series left in first and second place. How amazing is that? We're talking about, Jesse Wiggins, 27 years old. He's leading everything in bass fishing right now. We got any Jesse Wiggins fans? The guy right behind him, Jaime Hartman, his first Elite Series event, 44 years old. If you don't think dreams can come true, and you don't think that hard work pays off, listen to this guy's story. Qualified for the Elite Series, sold his house, took everything he owns, put it in a storage unit and said, I'm living on the road and I'm going to figure out how to catch these fish and make it on the Elite Series. If that's not commitment, I don't know what is. But the scary group of characters right behind him, we got in third place, Jacob Wheeler. We got any Jacob Wheeler fans? I mean, he is here to stay in a big way. This only his second Elite Series event. If he wins here today, he's won both of them. He's batting 1,000 at Elite Series competition. So we got an incredible cast of characters. Oh, yeah, and is there any David Mullins fans in the house? How about that other dude? What's Defoe? How about Brandin Politic? We're going to bring him through here in just a few minutes, but this has been an incredible, incredible week here, and it wouldn't be what it is without the incredible support we've had from the local communities. And I would like to thank Visit Knoxville Sports Commission, of course, the Jefferson County Economic Development Alliance, and our hosts for having us out here this week. And, of course, from Knoxville, I'd like to thank King Bumpus and Chad Kluver, and I'd like to thank them, and the best way to thank them is to give them a big round of applause. I know they're here. Get loud for them. Normally I introduce him, but he's already out here because we're excited to get going here. But let's hear it for our tournament director, Trip Weldon. And Trip, this not only our first event of the year, but a different event because we have 2 host communities here this year that made this happen.
Well, first of all, phenomenal crowd. You know, it's a gorgeous day. What a week of weather we've had. It was, 20 degrees one morning, and then it's, 70 today, and fish.
49-degree difference.
49-degree difference. Good math there, Dave. I didn't learn that in Alabama, okay? Anyhow, but it's been, you talked about our hosts out at Jefferson County. I want to thank Adele Sensing, especially Director of Tourism over there in Jefferson County, because we've got a Bass Pro Shop, Bassmaster Open. We've had many events right there on Douglas, and we'll be back out there this fall. But a great week. I look forward to coming back. Certainly, I want to thank our volunteer coordinator from Tennessee Nation, Bob Payne. TWRA, Tennessee Wildlife Resources, they've taken care of these fish. So, I said it yesterday, all of these fish weighed will be released back into Cherokee, so don't fret. These anglers have done a great job. I think we've lost 2 fish all week. It's been fantastic. So kudos to them. Kudos to TWRA. And it's just been a great week. I think this thing is going to come down to ounces, Dave, and I say it all the time. You guys get tired of hearing it. We could have a tie, and our bass rules say we have to have a sudden death fish off. Well, guess what? We're in February. Daylight's short. We can't go back out there tonight, so we could be back out there to Monday. We'll see how it all shakes out. But looking at Bass Track, I think it's going to be just a matter of ounces. And let me say something about Bassmaster.com. I've seen the numbers, and they have been off the charts. With Bassmaster Live, our blogging, Bass Track, it's just been phenomenal, and that's a credit to all these great fans.
Incredible. We want to thank all of you. You guys are the hardest core fans, and I mean, you guys are a little spoiled here indoors. The first 2 days of our weigh-in was a totally different deal, but it didn't keep the crowds away. And Tripp, I got to ask you, are we just about ready to get going? Then I'm going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, are you just about ready to get going? Now, this is going to be on TV. March 12th, you're going to be able to watch this show. Who wants to be on ESPN2 and Bassmaster TV? Now, the best way to be there is be incredibly good looking like Tripp and myself, or be absolutely insane like I know you guys can do. So I'm going to ask you, I say this all the time, me and Tripp are voted least likely to become cheerleaders, but that's what we are. We don't have pom-poms, we spin these towels. So when you see that, I need you to go absolutely insane. And if you're way back there and the sound's no good, you see that towel spinning, I need you to be cheering. These guys made it through a gauntlet of Elite Series assassins, but before we can bring them through, we need to show the true stars of this sport, and that is you guys, the best fishing fans in the world. So I need 30 seconds. You see all these ESPN2 cameras around here? I need 30 seconds of absolute insanity. Tennessee, do you think you can do it for me? 1, 2, 3. All right. That's okay if it wasn't the first Bassmaster Elite Series of the year with 2 Tennessee anglers in the top 12. Let me hear it from you. 1, 2, 3. We are just about ready to go, and I'm going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready? No. I said, are you ready? Let's get ready to wham! Roll through our first angler. He is a former Bass Nation national champion, a 2-time Elite Series champion, a member of Team Skeeter and Team Yamaha. From Rathdrum, Idaho, the prodigy, Brandin Politic. Brandin Politic, a 2-time Elite Series champion, former Bass Nation national champion, and a threat anywhere we go, but especially in bodies of water where those brown beasts swim. Unfortunately, just 4 fish today, looking for 6'11" to take the lead. 8 pounds, 7 ounces. He's going to take the lead with 54 pounds and 10 ounces. Are you guys ready for this? Boom shakalaka! Tiny bass. That's a little bit more like it. Brandin Politic, one of the brightest young stars in our game. He has made his mark on this sport already, but what a way to start the season, 2017 season. I know this isn't the way you wanted to end it here today, but as you said this morning, you had nowhere to go but up. You were in the perfect position to make a charge.
Yeah, and I did. I started fishing the same area, fishing out deep like I had all week. And it really helped me get here. And I looked at my camera boat driver and stuff, because I've got my own camera guy on tour this year. And I looked at him, I said, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, I'm not going to win doing this. I said, let's go gamble, and let's just go have fun. And that's what we did today. I just went and fished a bunch of new water. And it wasn't until 2 o'clock that I figured it out. And it was just too late. And I lost 3 giants right at the end of the day. And I was kicking myself looking at my Marshall going, man, if we just had 2 more hours, this thing could get interesting. I mean, I really felt like if I had 2 more hours, I could have caught over 20, because the 3 that I saw were all over 4 pounds. But it's just one of those deals. You know, this is a tournament that I'm really thankful to be in the top 12, because I didn't have anything in practice. I just went and fished on instincts, fish the conditions. So if I was going to give you guys one piece of advice, spend as much time on the water and as many different bodies of the water as you can so that that light bulb goes off quicker in your head, because that's really what I did this week. You know, thank you guys for coming out. This is the coolest weigh-in for an Elite Series event we've probably had in a long time. So thank you guys. Can I hear you guys get loud one more time? Come on, before I get off stage. Now we're talking.
You're not going to leave the stage because you're going to take our lead, but I don't know how long you're going to be sitting there. But before I send you over to our hot seat, I got to ask you, you mentioned it yourself. You got your own camera guy on tour. Explain to me what's going on, because you've already proved to be one of the most innovative pros on the water and promotionally, and I think what you're doing is pretty cool.
Well, I really wanted to be able to show every aspect of our life and what we do, because I think it offers something that no other sport offers, and the amount of hard work that goes into it. And there's not enough of it out there. It's not seen. I can only do so much on social media doing it myself, but I can't capture all those moments. And days like today where maybe they don't go as well as planned, that's just as equally as important part of the story, right? The struggle is just as important as the success. And I want to be able to show all aspects of that. So I hired Brandin Nelson. He's coming out. He lives in the fifth wheel with us. Pretty much just bought his life for a year so that we can show you guys everything that we're doing out on tour. So I hope that everybody enjoys it. Tons of content coming out. So
where are they going to be able to watch it?
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're going to use all those platforms, all the social media platforms we use, and use them in their own unique ways, and take advantage of those. So all the bigger videos will be on YouTube and Facebook, and then smaller stuff on Instagram.
Very cool. We'll have a seat in our hot seats, and let's see how long he can last there. Roll through our next angler. Shane's got it. He is a 7-time Geico Bassmaster Classic qualifier. He is the reigning and defending Toyota Texas Bass Classic champion. Also a member of Team Skeeter, Team Yamaha. From Asheville, Alabama, Matt Harron. It actually felt good. Just keep spinning it. Had 46 pounds, 7 ounces, and making a habit of making 12 cuts with Brandin the last few events, and you figured out this smallmouth deal in a big way. You're only looking for 8 pounds, 4 ounces to knock him out of the seat. You done it. 16 pounds and 5 ounces. With that, we say goodbye to Brandin Politic, and we say hello to Matt Harrod. Matt Harrod with 62 pounds and 12 ounces sit in the lead here, and you know, you got a bunch of anglers coming, but no matter what way it works out, like I said to Brandin, you know, we talked about it this morning, you guys were in a great spot. I mean, no risk. This is one of the few times in Elite Series that the pressure actually lays off a little bit, because you know that you can't drop, you could drop one spot is all you could drop, and you could move up a whole lot more.
That's it. You know, you go out with this crew right here, and all these points are valuable. And on Sundays, it's all about, you don't want to drop. You want to make up as many as you can. And, you know, that 1 point could be the difference at the end of the season in making the Classic or not. I've had an incredible week. I caught 15 plus every day, and I just couldn't figure out the bigger largemouth bite, and I didn't get any 4-pound smallmouth bites. But I think today I caught 30 fish out of Cherokee over 3 pounds. I've had an absolute ball, and I quit fishing smallmouth at 12:30 and went largemouth fishing, and did what I like to do, tied on a sandtone jig and a flat-sided crankbait, and kept just tried to gamble it up and get you a bigger bite. But you know, when you fish clean, I haven't lost anything all week, and you can't do much more. Hey guys, if you're out there and you like to fish vertical, fish deep, you need to look at the Minn Kota Ultrex. I got a video, should be up, my marshal took today. It should come up on YouTube where he said he's going to put it. I got, you know, that wind's blowing 25 and the wind's blowing straight on us. And he got up there where he could get the camera on the trolling motor and see the screen and see the fish streaking, and actually got me catching one. in a 25-mile-an-hour wind on a spot lock. It's a game changer.
I mean, 8 out of the top 12 in this top 12 are running it, so it's definitely made a difference. Do you think you got enough to hang on here?
Probably not, but all in all, I've had a great week, a great tournament, and what a way to start a season.
Great way to start a season. Have a seat in our hot seat here, and we'll keep them rolling through. 2 down, 10 more to go. He's a former Bass Nation national champion, a 2-time Geico Bassmaster Classic qualifier. In both his classic appearances, he finished in the top 12. He holds the all-time record for the 5 biggest fish ever weighed in Bassmaster Classic history. From Connecticut, Paul Muller. Started the day with 47 pounds even. Picking up right where he left off at the tail end of the season last year, and a great start to things. Everybody always focuses on that last event, but this first event in some ways is more important. Looking for 15-13 to take the lead. 18 pounds even with 65 pounds even, a brand new leader in Paul Muller. Get loud, Knoxville, let me hear you. With that, we say goodbye to Matt Herron, but we say hello to Paul Muller, our brand new leader. Let's hear it for Matt Herron, ladies and gentlemen. $65 pounds even, and Paul Muller, championships are all about championship performances on Championship Sunday, and that's exactly what you did. 18 pounds even. You just took over Phoenix Boat's Big Bass for the day with that fish with 4-5, and life's pretty good. It worked out good today.
Yeah, you know, the Lord blessed me this week. I got off to a really bad start. I had about 12 pounds the first day, and I basically had a fight, and it was tough. You know, I'm not going to lie, but I started figuring it out. Basically, the fish are moving around, and, you know, I've been using my Garmin Panoptics this week to catch basically every single fish I've caught. I've seen it, whether it was ahead of the boat or right under the boat. But with the Garmin Panoptics, you can just scan around and you could see the fish and the bait. Actually, yesterday, could see the fish eating bait. And it's crazy because, you know, you could throw a bunch of different things at these fish. And, you know, back home, like a swim bait or something, or jigging spoons will catch fish. But you actually had to get close to the fish and vertically fish. And I caught all my fish this week on a Rains 3.5-inch bubbling shaker on a custom jig head that I made from Do It Molds, a 3/8 ounce. And just kind of video game fishing, but the Garmin Panoptics would kind of show me if I was in the right area or not, and sometimes I could actually catch fish, you know, 30 feet away from the boat, video game fishing. So I had a lot of fun. That's what I do back home, and it's a great lake. I hope we come back. I mean, this is my type of fishing. I just stumbled the first day. The fish kind of moved on me, but I can't be, you know, I can't complain about how it finished. I moved up each day, and that's all that you want. You know, you want to have a good year. And, you know, I'm happy.
You have an incredible history at first events of the season. Last year, first event of the season, this one worked out a lot different. He fished, for like 3 hours the first event last season, and then what happened? Let us know.
Well, I had 2 fish for I don't even know what they weighed, and then I just lost about a 5-pounder, so I was really mad about that. And then I got a phone call from my wife, and she said she was going into labor. So that pretty much put the fishing game to a stop, and I got on a plane, went back home. But yeah, it's a little different this year. But you know, I can't wait to get back home and see my little guy. I'm sure my wife's watching. Love you guys. I'll be home soon.
It's really about blessing at both events. Have a seat in our hot seat. And maybe you know this next guy. Let's roll him through. All right, Tennessee, one of your very own. A former Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open champion, a former Toyota Trucks All-Star champion, a former Bassmaster Elite Series champion from Knoxville, Tennessee, Defoe started the day with 47 pounds and 4 ounces. 47.4. And because of the incredible job done by Paul Muller, he's going to have caught him today, looking for 17-13 to take the lead. And like that, his children just get carted away in a boat. 14 pounds, 13 ounces, gives him 62 pounds and an ounce, and your very own hometown hero moves into 3rd place. Let's hear it for him, Knoxville. $62 and an ounce. I know you'd love to take the win here. These guys would love to see you take the win. But you did an incredible job here. I mean, to come into an event with so much pressure. I mean, all the Tennessee guys were talked about, but, I mean, arguably, I believe you were probably the one that was talked about the most, especially because of coming off a win at the end of the season last year. It is so easy to stumble in that position with all that media commitments, but you did not. A great finish.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I was pulled in a lot of different directions. I got to thank my wife. She really helped keep my head in the game and keep me focused and made it easy on me. You know, I was able to practice all day, come home, and have a good warm meal there ready for me after those long, cold days on the water a lot of days. But no, I mean, she did a great job keeping it all together, making it easy on me to do my part, just out there on the water to do that. And I did. I mean, it does have a lot of pressure when you're fishing one at home, but, man, it makes it so much more rewarding when it works out, when the Lord blesses you, you have a great finish, and it all comes together. You know, it's not going to be a win, but, man, just to make a top 12 when it's so easy to have that home lake advantage or that home lake curse, a solid top 12 finish to start the year with these good points, I'll take it any day.
An incredible start. Let's hear it for him. What you got to know is he doesn't just rep you guys here this week. He represents you all year long, all across the country on the Bassmaster Elite Series and does an incredible job with it. But this tournament was a different one. I mean, lots of different things happened, but I don't remember us ever having a tournament where inside the 4-day window, there was a 49-degree temperature difference. I mean, generally you need to get in a plane to make a 49-degree temperature difference.
No, that's called a week in East Tennessee. Is that right or not? That's exactly what that is, dude. That's what we deal with here all the time. I mean, especially this time of year. This winter's really been a crazy one. But, I mean, that is East Tennessee at its finest, and we got to experience it. But it really did throw a curveball. I told people, I told my wife, I said, whoever wins this tournament will earn it because it's going to be so much different conditions day in and day out. For me this week, I caught my fish doing what most guys did. I was dropping straight down on them on a shad-shaped kind of bait. And I was using a VMC Moon Eye jig head. It's a really great jig head for using that technique that's so common around here. A lot of guys want to use a homemade jig head, but that 3/8 ounce and that VMC jig head, it's got a great hook in them. When I hooked those fish with that Bass Pro Carbon Light rod, I had no trouble losing them. I mean, it was a really solid deal. So be sure you check that jig head out. And I caught 2 of my best fish today cranking a Rapala DT6 up the river. I went to try to make something big happen. I knew I needed a really big bag. That's where I like to fish. I really couldn't get to go where I wanted to. Trip wouldn't let me use my aluminum boat. But I really wanted to go somewhere a little bit further.
He would have totally let you use your aluminum boat. It just means you got to use it for the rest of the season. Ask your buddy Skylar Hamilton.
Yeah, his aluminum boat's a little faster than the tracker I've got. That tracker I've got, it'll run in some really skinny water, but man, it doesn't get anywhere in a hurry. But that's a decision I had to make coming into this, and I'm glad I chose the one I did. I'll get to ride my Nitro Z21 the rest of the year, but man, what a great finish! A great crowd here. I love this lake. Cherokee Lake is, like I told you, the first day on stage. It's where I fished my first bass tournament ever. I fished there with my dad in an English Choice tournament when I was 9 years old. I can't do the math quick enough to figure out what year that was, but we put in right there at the dam. We didn't catch a fish, didn't weigh in a bass. But having that tournament there, and James Knuckles was the tournament director, and he had me and my brother come up on stage and just kind of made a big deal about us being young kids fishing in it. And I really have to thank him, and I have to thank that lake for getting me started in bass fishing. There's no doubt about it. So to get to fish an Elite Series tournament and have a great tournament up there, dude, that's what dreams are made of.
I want to congratulate you on a great start to the season, Knoxville. Let's hear it for one of your very own. Dude, you just took out the hometown hero.
I got lucky.
This next guy's scary too, huh?
Yeah, it's going to get worse from here on out, I think.
They don't get gentler. I can guarantee you that much. Let's roll him through. He's a former Forest Wood Cup champion, a 4-time Bassmaster winner. Took an assault on the leaderboard last year all season long and starting up where he left off. Took an Elite Series win last year all the way from Port St. Joe, Florida. The Honey Badger, Randall Tharp. Randall Tharp awaiting the biggest bag of the tournament on day number 2. And those conditions when he went down that dock this morning must have been had you chomping at the bit. At 48 pounds even, looking for 17-1, 16 pounds and an ounce. 1 pound short of the overall lead, still held by Paul Muller. But ladies and gentlemen, he makes a top 12 at his first event of the 2017 season. Let's hear it for Randall Tharp. Randall, wow, biggest bag of the tournament on day 2, and you've already leading Phoenix Boats Big Bass, and you're leading it for the tournament overall with a 5.5, and you're leading it for the day with a 4.9, and like the Frank Sinatra song says, I mean, you did not play the Tennessee game. You did it your way here this week.
Yeah, you know, I've only been here once before. I didn't come and pre-fish for this tournament. I've had one rod and one lure. It's my signature half-ounce jig. I caught every bass over the 4 days on that lure. I just ran up that river till I got some dirty water, and I fished everything that looked good for 4 days. And, it's my style of fishing. It may not, it's not going to work out that I win this week, but anytime I can do that and catch some big bass, I really feel like, you guys have a really special place here. I think there is a 25-pound bag up there, I had an opportunity the other day at it. Today the sun came out for 30 minutes. I caught my 3 biggest fish. The next sunny day, I know where I'd be if I were you guys. I'd be up that river fishing them rocks.
If you had to do it over again, was there any key moments where you think this one slipped out, or are you walking away from this saying, hey, I brought my game there and I got the best finish you can get with the situation I was confronted with?
No, I wouldn't change a thing. I love fishing that way. It's my strength. Some of these guys out there with that drop shot, that's their strength, and that's probably going to, fishing deep, them smallmouth bass, probably what's going to win this tournament. But shoot, no, I love that flipping stick. I love doing what I do up that river. I wouldn't change a thing. I'm here on Championship Sunday, so you can't win them all. And anytime you get to fish 4 days against these hammers that are out here on the Elite Series, you've done something right.
You've done something very right. An incredible start to the season. I know you're looking forward to the next one because there ain't going to be a lot of deep drop shotting at Okeechobee.
Yeah, y'all bring them spinning rods down there. Let's see what happens.
Working out pretty good. But I think these guys want to see our next angler, one of Tennessee's very own. He's a former Bass Pro Shops, a Bassmaster Open champion, took that win last fall and comes here in front of his hometown crowd. Let me hear it from Mount Carmel, Tennessee. Every day is doomsday for David Mullins. David Mullins, a member of Team Triton, Team Mercury, rolled out in the Doomsday Tackle Wrap Triton Mercury this morning with one goal, and that is to climb that leaderboard. Started today with 48 pounds, 4 ounces, looking for 16-13 to take the lead. 16 pounds even. 13 ounces short of the lead. But ladies and gentlemen, celebrate one of your very own, Tennessee's finest, Mr. David Mullins. 13 ounces shy of the overall lead. But, dude, look at this crowd. And like I said to Ott, you guys came in here with immense amount of pressure. And we go to hometown fisheries for guys with a home field advantage a lot of times. And more often than not, they stumble because of that history. How did you block that all out to make it here to Championship Sunday?
Dude, I'm just lucky. You know, I fished so many local trails when they allowed us to fish them, and you know, and I probably fished more of them since Ott's fished them, and that's probably what hurt him a little bit more, even though he did really well. But yeah, you know, I just fished. And there's a difference between having experience on the lake and having tournament experience on the lake. You know, if you got tournament experience, you kind of know what places are going to get hit, usually what places aren't, and you know, I kind of just got on some sneaky stuff and, you know, some stuff to myself. But, you know, yesterday just killed me. And I needed one more call to do well and needed one good bite, and I never got it all 4 days.
You saved something a little sneaky for today, though. I mean, we're watching people fish deep and basically just staring at the water all day, the techniques a lot of you guys are using. I did not expect to see a dude with a push pole on the front deck of his boat when he left this morning.
You can't leave anything back at this point. But no, you know, the Cherokee, when it draws down, you know, some of these ponds and stuff have really deep water in them. And it's pretty much on the lips, you know. When it starts falling down, you know, the fish get trapped in there. And I had one little pond that I thought I could do really, really well in. And I got in there and the water was just a little too stained to catch them. I caught 2 in there, culled 2, and then lost one pretty decent one. But yeah, definitely something you wouldn't expect. I didn't think I could get in there, but I got so tired of looking at that graph. I was like, the heck with this, we're going to go fish shallow a little while, so that's what we did.
Well, it worked out pretty good for you. I want to congratulate you on a great finish in front of your hometown crowd in Knoxville. Let's hear it for him.
Hey, this guy, you know, I don't get a chance to, you know, get up here very often. I got some people I want to thank, especially Doomsday Tackle with those 40 series rods I was using today. But some local guys helped me that I didn't have a boat for 3 months, so I could not go to the lake, and they allowed me to go with them. And these are people that I would normally compete against. So it meant a lot to me with Mr. Brown, Gary Pickleton, Josh Rourke, Jamie Gooden, Randy Brown. I mean, they all helped me out, and when I didn't have a boat, they let me go with theirs, and it meant a lot to me.
Well, it worked out very well for you. One more time. Let's hear it for him. All right, so you just knocked off another hometown favorite. Right now you got to be feeling really good, but a little nervous that all these folks are going to meet you out at the monkey bars after this is all done.
Yeah, it's had a good week, you know. I mean, I think that first day is going to haunt me, though.
We'll find out. You know, have you heard of this next dude?
Who's that?
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Did he fish out of that kayak today?
He may. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's roll him through. He is the 2003 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion, the 2006 Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year from Pittsgrove, New Jersey. Go Ike for Mike Iaconelli. Started the day with 48 pounds and 4 ounces. Had a big 18-pound day yesterday, looking for 16, 13 here today. Looking for 16 pounds, 13 ounces. 5 fish, 13 pounds even. Iaconelli moves into 6th place. Let's hear it for him, making it to Championship Sunday. Ike, you made a big charge to get in here yesterday, and you got to be exceptionally excited about this start to the season. Anytime you get here on Sunday.
Yeah, momentum is really key, and it was a good week for me. And I flip-flopped this week between largemouth and smallmouth. You know, the first and second day I had about 80% of my catch was largemouth, and the last 2 days it was all smallmouth. So phenomenal fishery when you can go and catch all those species. You know, for the largemouth, I basically caught them on a missile jig, half-ounce green pumpkin missile jig, and a DT6. And I tried to fish the last flat rocks in the back of pockets. That was key, those flat rocks in the very backs of those pockets. And then for smallmouth, man, I didn't do that stupid Tamiki thing. I just didn't buy into it. I fished a drop shot, and drop shot a little gulp minnow, little watermelon pearl minnow, and also caught some on a blade bait, a Mullix Trago vibe. So it was a good week. I'm tired, though. According to my Fitbit, 6,372 steps I went today. You think that's possible?
I think you hit a lot of waves, my friend. I think you're... or made a lot of casts, or maybe your Fitbit thinks...
Well, it also says that I burned 9,000 calories. Is that possible?
Maybe. I mean, you're pretty wiry.
Well, I hope it is.
Just random questions with Iaconelli. This segment of Mike Iaconelli's Random Questions brought to you by his messed up mind. Let's roll through our next angler. All the way from the West Coast, a two-time Geico Bassmaster Classic qualifier, rolling through in the Berkeley-wrapped Nitro Mercury from Gilbert, Arizona. Let me hear it for Josh Bertrand. Josh Bertrand started the day with 49 pounds and an ounce. He's looking for 16 even to take the lead away from Paul Muller. I need 16 pounds even, 5 fish, all alive. 15 pounds, 13 ounces. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate one of our incredible anglers making the top 12, Josh Bertrand. Three ounces short of the overall lead, but Josh, Championship Sunday, got to be happy with this. I mean, another incredible performance, going to finish with a top 5 no matter what way it works out, or top 6 anyways.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to be upset about 3 ounces after a week like that. You know, it's been a really, really fun week. It's an awesome lake. You know, this week, I just really enjoyed my time on the water. I enjoyed my time with, you know, all the people around town here, and you know, a lot of people tell you, you know, that they think topwater might be the best way to fish, the most fun way to fish. Very few will tell you that staring at your electronics and fishing vertically in 30 feet of water is their favorite way, but I will. It's my favorite way to fish. I love it, and I just had a blast catching those fish. So yeah, it was a fantastic week.
Incredible week indeed. And is there anything you'd look back and change? And then on top of that, how did you catch him here? Like, what was the whole layout?
Well, you know, I really had a difficult practice. I never really figured out what the fish were doing. The first day of the tournament, I learned a little bit. The second day, I learned a little bit more. And the last 2 days, you know, I caught a lot more fish, you know, than I had through the whole rest of the week. You know, pretty much what I did was I followed the shad. You know, these smallmouth are eating threadfin shad all day long, and you know, I didn't catch them off the same spot 2 days in a row. I just had to keep moving, keep finding where the shad were at, and the bass were with them. Most of the fish I caught this week, I was fishing vertical, 3/8 ounce jig head and a Berkeley gulp minnow, just dropping it straight down, looking at my electronics. I will say a big advantage. I got Paul sitting next to me. He probably would say the same thing. The Garmin electronics with the Panoptics. I mean, these fish, you could get over a school. I know he's running them too. That's why I say it. But you get over a school of fish and maybe catch one, and they would vanish off your screen. And with the Panoptics, you literally just take your trolling motor, pan left, pan right, and you might see that they've moved 50 feet over to the right. You just slide over, get right back on the school, and start catching them again. Something I never had in the past. So it was, you know, I know it was a difference maker this week.
I want to congratulate you on a great start to the season. Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. And then there was four more Elite Series assassins to dodge here. This is getting even more scary. Let's roll him through. His last 3 Bassmaster events, just to give you an idea, his last 3 Bassmaster events, he finished in the top 5. He took a win last year to finish out the season at the Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year Championship. He's finished in the top 5 in the last 3 Bassmaster events. all the way from Minnesota, the amazing fighter man, Seth Fighters. Seth Fighters started the day with 50 pounds and 8 ounces. He's looking for 14 pounds and 9 ounces to take the lead away from Paul Muller, looking for 14.9. 15 pounds, 5 ounces, and a brand new leader in the amazing fighter man. Get loud for Seth Fighters. Digging deep in that Berkeley weighing bag. Hold 'em high. Let me hear it from you, Knoxville, Tennessee. With that, we say goodbye to Paul Muller. Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. And we say hello to Seth Fighters. This seems to be a tradition. Come Sunday tournaments after the last few months, you just kind of hang around and you're a big part of this. And for those of you that were not here yesterday, it was explained on stage that Ott finished the season with a big win in front of your hometown crowd. You finished second in that whole deal, and if this all works out, could be called payback.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't think I'm going to be up here very long, but I had a great week. Caught all my fish on a VMC Moon-Eye jig and a Rapala jig and wrap, and I think my parents showed up. They came down last night. They're somewhere right there, and I want to give a big shout out to the whole Defoe family. I've been staying at Ott's parents' house all week. Keep my boat in the garage all week, so I didn't have to worry about frozen lids and stuff like that when it was really cold. Super awesome people. I just want to say thank you for that, and I guess I'll sit in that chair for about 30 seconds.
Before you sit in it, I got to ask you, how'd you catch him this way? Was it one bait, or did you cycle through baits? I mean, the air temperature changed 49 degrees during this tournament. Did you have to adjust with the fish, or did you keep moving with them?
There's 3 baits I used, but my main weapon was that VMC Moon-Eye jig, fishing what the locals call a Demiki rig here. And it was just kind of when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I followed suit, and it works great. I'm actually interested to try that other places. It's a really, really cool technique. I had maybe half a dozen places I was fishing. They're all 25 to 40 feet deep rocks, and just kept cycling through them and trying to pick off bigger fish. And I got a decent bag every day, but I wasn't catching a super big bag every day that I needed to get her done. But a great week, and had fun down here. You guys got a great fishery here. It's full of smallmouth, and a really fun place to fish.
Last question, and probably the most important question for me personally, watching you on Bassmaster Live, you talk about a lot of things that have nothing to do with fishing, but one thing that I was very intrigued by is mustache conversation. You spent a lot of time talking about mustaches, and you clearly said that hands down, Shaw Grigsby has the greatest mustache in professional bass fishing. An honor.
No questions asked.
Where does yours rate? Where are you at in that league? I mean, are you Lintner level? Where are you at?
No, I'm probably at the bottom of the pile now. But a good mustache comes with age. It's a commitment thing. So, maybe in 10 years I'll be right there with them.
Well, your flow is leading the pack. So have a seat in our hot seat. Let's roll him through. He has fished one other Bassmaster Elite Series event. In a specialty event, Bass Fest, he won it. This his second Bassmaster Elite Series event, and in contention to win here today. A 2-time FLW Tour champion, a former Forest Wood Cup champion from Indianapolis, Indiana. Get loud for Jacob Wheeler. Jacob Wheeler started the day with 51 pounds and 10 ounces. He's looking for 14.4 to take the lead. 5 fish, all alive, 18 pounds, 3 ounces. Jacob Wheeler takes the lead once again, and with that we say goodbye to Seth Fighters and hello to Jacob Wheeler with 69 pounds, 13 ounces. Knoxville, let me hear ya. 69 pounds, 13 ounces. And with 2 anglers left to weigh, Jacob Wheeler takes the lead in his second ever Bassmaster Elite Series event. And of course, the first one, you know how that worked out. He won it. Going to weigh that for Phoenix Most Big Bass. Needs to be better than 4.9. Not going to be, but dude, you are leading this whole deal. We talked about it a lot on live today, and we said, you know, if this kid wins this, how old are you?
26.
26 years old. You've already won the Forcewood Cup. You've already won an Elite Series event. Dude, if you win this, I know you're not, I mean, I'd totally quit because I'd say I batted 1,000, I'd leave the sport forever and say I could have won them all, but this puts you in some pretty hallowed ground.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, just to be up here with this caliber of anglers, I mean, it's an honor to be in this top 12. I mean, these guys are really good, and every time you go out there, you have to really catch them, and I mean, you can't slip up a bit. So, I mean, with this week being as crazy as it has been, I'm surely blessed. There's no doubt.
This week, we've talked about how crazy the weather was, changed 49 degrees over 4 days, but it's been crazy. You just give the fans just a kind of a quick snapshot of your week.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much it was really crazy. Day one was pretty uneventful. I mean, I went out there and caught him pretty decent, and you know, pretty much capitalized on everything. The second day, you know, I had half my waypoints were off out of my unit, so I couldn't. On half the stuff that I was fishing up the lake, I had half the lake, but I didn't have the other half of the lake. So I was fishing like 3 or 4 places up the lake, and I had to go graph around and look for them. And you know, so you know, I was fishing individual rocks. You know, you would pull up and you would drop down on an individual rock where the smallmouth are setting on a break line. A lot of times the smallmouth are set up on the outside of a little break line, something with a little sharper or steeper break. You know, they like the flat stuff too, but it seemed like that little sharper break anywhere, a little hole or a pond, anything like that was huge out here this week. And then, you know, obviously going on from there to day 3, you know, battery issues and you know, one battery dies, something goes bad, and I'm dead in the water at 12:30, and that was the craziest thing because I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, what am I going to do? And I'm thinking about the bass rules, and, you know, you can fish with another competitor. And so I'm calling up, you know, Adrian Naveen, I'm calling up Mark Daniels, I'm calling up Andy Montgomery, I'm calling up, you know, Dustin Connell, and, like, you know, the guys I talk to all the time. And so I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to run down the lake, and then I see one of them suckers, I'm jumping in their boat, and we'll see what's up. So I get up to Dustin's boat. I'm like, dude, can I jump in your boat? He's like, well, bring it on, boy. I was like, all right, son. So we'll go. Now, they don't talk like that now, but I tried. I'm sorry, y'all. I tried. No, but, you know, he allowed me to go out there, and I had some fish found. We ran to those fish and caught some fish, and, you know, but, I mean, I wouldn't even be up here right now without Dustin. So, I mean, just again, man, big thanks to him for that opportunity to be out here. And I caught 2 of my biggest fish with him in the boat. So up there on the front, and he caught 1. It was pretty cool.
An incredible week, but all those trials and tribulations, I'm sure you're going to forget about them if this all works out the way you hope.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, if it does, man, I mean, what a crowd here in Knoxville. It's pretty cool being here and having everybody here. I have my fiance and some really good friends that are here. I mean, it's awesome, man. I mean, you know, this week pretty much has been, I can't forget it, man, because there's so many things have gone on. And it's real quick here. You know, one thing that, you know, if you watch me on Bass Live and you see me get to where I'm like flustered, and, you know, I don't really get that flustered. Truth, like I wasn't that flustered when the batteries went down or this or that. And, you know, I said I grew up in a God-fearing family, and you know, I don't, you know, I fail and I do this and that, and, you know, but at the end of the day, I know where my blessings come from. I know where my blessings come from, and, you know, it's something that I know that he had my back. And if it was, at the end of the day, if it was his will I was going to win this thing, it was going to happen. So that's how I was that calm. So put it up to him and leave it in his hands.
Pretty incredible. Have a seat in our hot seat. Let's roll through our next angler. 2 anglers left to weigh here today. 2 Elite Series rookies. The top 3 in this event fishing their first ever regular season Elite Series event. This guy has hostage his entire life to make this Elite Series dream come true. He packed it all up, rented a storage unit, and said, I'm hitting the road. I'm going to make it on the Elite Series. And he may just have done that at his very first Elite Series stop. From Newport, New York, get loud, ladies and gentlemen, for Elite Series rookie, Jaime Hartman. Jaime Hartman Oh, boy, there is a bulge in that bag. He is looking for 17 pounds, 14 ounces. He's have a big day to catch Wheeler, looking for 17 pounds, 14 ounces. 17 pounds, 3 ounces. 17-3. Ladies and gentlemen, his first ever Elite Series event. Let's hear it for Jaime Hartman. Get loud for Nitro Mercury Pro, Jaime Hartman. Absolutely thumps them at his first ever Bassmaster Elite Series event. 69 pounds and 3 ounces, and 11 ounces short of the overall lead. I mean, I know when you get this close, I could only imagine how it hurts. But at some point, you got to look back and say, I've been on the Elite Series now for 4 days. And this has worked out pretty good for me. The worst thing that could happen to you here today is a third-place finish. If I'd have told you when you signed up and laid it all on the line, if I said, your first event, you're going to get a third, pretty sure you would have took that deal.
Yeah, I'd have taken that deal in a heartbeat, yep. No doubt about it. Yeah, I'm actually shocked. I thought I had more than that, but I didn't get the big bite today. I've been getting 1 or 2 big bites every day. I didn't get the big bite today, but I had all solid fish. I'm actually, like I said, I'm shocked. I thought I did have more than that, but it is what it is, man. I went out there today. My fish did replenish. I got on them early. I was surprised at how many fish I did see down there, but they wouldn't bite for me real good, so I had to really stick them out for quite a while. I got them to go, just not all at once, and they were popping off pretty quick as they were getting on there. So I had a heck of a day, but hey, it is what it is, man. I'm here. So
an incredible start to your Elite Series career, and I know this is not the end. I know this is just the beginning for you. Being that close, 11 ounces. Is there any fish that's haunting you right now, looking back, thinking that was the one that could have been the difference maker?
Oh my God, yes. I had one each day that I got up to the boat and just something silly happened. They just popped off. You know, you don't do nothing wrong. They just pop off. Today was the killer, I think. I had so many fish in that area today, and it was vacant yesterday. When I dropped my trolling motor, I seen bait down there, and I said, oh boy, here we go. And you know, like I said, we were vertical fishing, and I was dropping it on there, and them fish. But what they were doing normally is when you get them fired up, they'll come up to the bait, you know, and you'll see them come up, and they'll come up 3-4 times. And then when they come up and idle with the bait, your whole bait on the Lowrance turns yellow, and they eat it. I probably had that 7-8 times today, and they didn't eat it. So it was crazy, man. And they were only coming up 1 or 2 times, and then they're just gone. And normally, if they come up 2, 3, 4 times, they're going to come up and they'll eat it. And they didn't do that for me today. But I had so many fish in that area, and I'm just surprised that they didn't want to cooperate for me. It's Jacob's day, I think.
Well, we'll see whose day it is, but an incredible start to his Elite Series career. Let's hear it for Jaime Hartman, ladies and gentlemen. And then there was one. Now this dude, I mean, he hasn't been around tour level competition for a long time, but I don't know if you heard some of his stats yesterday, but he's done pretty good in the last little while.
I'd say so. You know, actually, believe it or not, I called Wiggins up. I don't know it. I didn't know him from Adam. I just told Connell. I was talking to Connell. I said, give me Wiggins' number. After he won that open down there, I said, dude, I said, that's a heck of a job. I said, man, we talked for a little bit, and, you know, it's crazy, you know, now looking back, you know, we're here in this position. I mean, it's pretty awesome. The kid's unbelievable. He catches them, and, I mean, I talked to Kilgore. I talked to everybody around there where he lives. That kid's legit, and obviously he is. I mean, day in and day out, I mean, you've seen, like, I think if you look back at his B.A.S.S Open record, like 2 years ago he qualified for the Elite, denied it. Last year he qualified, won an Elite, or won an Open, you know, accepted it, won an Open this year. I mean, this kid's unbelievable, and he has a really bright future.
And so are you, my friend. So we're going to have a battle of 2 of the brightest young stars in this sport. Let's roll him through. This is no normal rookie, ladies and gentlemen. He's a two-time Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Open champion. Has qualified for the 2017 Geico Bassmaster Classic. He is the only human being on earth that has already qualified for the 2018 Classic. He is leading this event. He is leading the Bass Pro Shops Southern Open Angler of the Year race. He is leading the Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year race. He is leading the Rookie of the Year race. He is the one and only Jesse Wiggins.
Hey, thank y'all for coming out. I just
Wait. He's got to get his fish.
Just in case, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I ended up calling this evening, so it may end up being close. But I just want to say thank y'all to all y'all. Thanks to all my sponsors, T&H Marine, Lowrance. So you caught all my fish looking at Lowrance this week. Jinko Fishing, Bass Cat, Honda. I mean, all the guys. Superior Scaffolding and Installation Indicator. He helped me out this year. I just want to say I hadn't got to thank any of them this week, so I wanted to make sure to get that in. But yeah, it's going to be close, boys. I'm ready for this. It's my first Elite Series tournament, and I'm the last one to weigh in on the last day. You can't beat that.
That's right, and the best way to thank him is go in that boat and get us a load. Start the day with 52 pounds, 13 ounces, digging deep in that live well. Let's see what he's got to show you all the way from Cullman, Alabama. Jesse Wiggins is here to stay. His first ever Bassmaster Elite Series event. Boom, shakalaka, giant bass. Jesse Wiggins at 52 pounds, 13 ounces, and has one of the longest, he basically has the longest intro for a rookie in the history of the Elite Series. I don't think anybody's ever going to take that away from him. Had 52 pounds, 13 ounces. Jacob, get up here. It's either Wiggins or Wheeler. 52-13, looking for 17-1. Looking for 17 pounds and an ounce. £16 pounds, 3 ounces. 16 pounds, 3 ounces. And with that, Jacob Wheeler bats 1,000. 2 elites, 2 victories. One of the most polarizing characters in the history of this sport. And he's 27 years old. "27 years old, you have fished 2 Bassmaster Elites, and you have won them both." Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. At what point? I mean, I know you dream. I know, and come on over here. I know you dream, and I know you focus in every tournament you go in to win. But man, dude, at what point in your life, if I'd have said to you a number of years ago that at 27 years old, you would do incredibly well in the FLW Tour, work incredibly hard to qualify for the elites, and I'm sure that question was in your mind, can I hang? Well, dude, you can't just hang. You can run this game. 2 elites and 2 victories.
Man, I'm truly speechless. I mean, it's true. I mean, 10 years ago or 8 years ago, I was just watching these guys online, watching them on ESPN, and I'm just sitting here thinking about what all's gone on and what all's gone on this week. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I truthfully, last minute, 20 minutes to go, I roll over to a place, and I had my good boy Sean Weed at B.A.S. Marine. He was out there watching me, all the guys there, and I rolled to this place, and all I've caught is 3 3/4 pounders off this place, and I was giving I was giving everybody a hard time. I was just trying to catch one more big one. It was 20 minutes left to go, and I dropped down, hook it. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, dude, this is a big one. I said, I'm hoping it's another 3 3/4 because I needed a 330 or 340 to call. Comes up, it's like a 380, 390. I'm like, it was a 4-pounder. And that in 20 minutes to go, it happened. I mean, it was just unbelievable. I didn't obviously know. I mean, I just thought I needed 19 pounds. And so I'm thinking the whole time driving here that there's no way. And for this to unfold like it has, I mean, it's unbelievable.
It is incredible. Before you go, I got you. Before we make this official, I got you to recap the setup, the technique, and exactly how you caught him.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I was doing, I was throwing a jig head. I was throwing a VMC Moon Eye jig head, and that was the big key. I mean, a lot of you guys know, a fluke style bait on there. I'm sure you guys, throw it a lot down this way. It's a huge technique down here in East Tennessee, and you're just basically fishing it vertical over those fish. And in a smallmouth, he's not like a largemouth as much. They like to come up and eat most of the time. They really like to feed up. So like where, a drop shot works really well, but this place over here seemed like that little technique over their head, you shake it. But the big key for me, and I truly felt this way, was that Moon Eye jig. That VMC Moon Eye jig was huge because what it did, I know a lot of you guys who know that technique, throw an Erie head. And what that Moon Eye jig does, it has a big eye on it, but it rocked. It rocked, and when it was rocking, that eye would shimmy down there, and it had a lot more action. So when those fish came up there, think about it. When a fish comes up on your bait and he meets up with you off that bait, and he sees that big giant eye there, it's going to look a lot more realistic than just the dang plain old jig head. Wouldn't you think so? And I feel like no doubt this week I got a few more bites because of that. And then along with that, I caught him on a jig and wrap. I caught a few fish on a jig and wrap, and I caught a few fish. If I could not catch those fish, I would throw that 3/8 ounce Moon Eye with a 3.5-inch Storm 360 GT swim bait. And what I was doing is I was casting it with 10-pound suffix line, getting out the bait caster and casting it to them. I'd graph them, and if they would come up and be all goofy and stuff, they'd come up and look at your bait and be like, you little suckers, come on. You all know how that is. You just get mad because they don't want to bite. I would throw that swim bait in there and crawl on the bottom, and I caught a couple key fish throughout the week doing that as well. So that was my setup. You guys got to Cherokee. This lake is unbelievable. And, I mean, I'm real pretty soon here. I mean, I live in Indianapolis right now, but planning on moving down to Chickamauga here pretty soon, so I'll be your neighbor, next door neighbor anyway.
You already have one of these trophies. You got room for another one?
Yeah, I definitely got room for this one for sure. This one's, with all the adversity and all the things that happened this week, I mean, this one's by far the most important to me because not only is it, I just got engaged to a beautiful fiance, Alicia Carlson, and right before I started practice, or actually like a week before I started practice, so I had a lot of things going on, trying to get a boat finished, trying to get a wraps done and everything else, getting engaged and trying to figure this cute thing out to figure out how to propose to her. So I was a little crazy, it was a little crazy for us all to come down and work together. I mean, I don't even know. I'm just very blessed with the opportunities that I've had and the people that I've met along the way, and I appreciate you guys coming out.
All right, let's make this official. To do the handoff, we're going to bring out our tournament director, Trip Weldon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we started with 110, cut it down to 51. Now there is just one. Your champion, the 2017 Cherokee Lake Bassmaster Elite Series champion, Jacob Wheeler. Jacob Wheeler bats 1,000, 2 elites and 2 titles, and he is not done. With 69 pounds, 13 ounces. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for your 2017 Cherokee Lake Bassmaster Elite Series champion, Jacob Wheeler. Jacob Wheeler takes that title. We started with 110, cut it down to 51. 12 went out today, and now 1 remains. Jacob Wheeler bats 1,000, 2 Elite Series events, and 2 Elite Series titles.